I like that we're doing this because he had refused to go in. So now we remember that at the end of our session, we can make it part of the session using the skills that we got. So we have the recall because that's what we start with. We start with stay. I'm going to use those two things to teach him all about the kennel here. If I say go in the kennel, go in the kennel. If I say stay, then stay in the kennel and relax. All right? Previously, if he didn't want to go in, he's going to go in the other direction.
Yeah, I had to corral him around.
Which is normal.
The first day.
And then you know, because he's small, you can go like this.
Yeah, that's what I did.
But if he was like 200 pounds, then you're like,
yeah, we can't do that with
he doesn't want to go somewhere. Right? And then you don't want to pick him up, you grab the leash, right? You grab the leash, you start guiding with the leash. What does this little guy do? Right? So, watch when I point. This is always a cool thing about dogs. Watch when I point and gesture for him to go in here. How much just me taking my finger and doing this tells him all he needs to know, right? He doesn't need to learn anything complex here. His brain already naturally, if it's trying, can see that when I point to something, I want you to go in there, I want you to interact with that, right? That's one of the reasons why we like dogs so much, is because you can have a conversation of sorts. Most of the time, it's one-sided, and the dog's doing whatever, right? So I can tell him to go in here, and then he can say yes or no, right? Or nothing, or you can say nothing at all.
That is an answer.
Right. And then I'll correct him if it's not the right answer, and we'll ask again. And then maybe he'll try to run away, and then I'll correct him, recall, and ask again, and we're staying in that conversation. And then he'll comply or submit to the situation, and he'll go in, and then he'll get a good boy. Tomorrow when we do it, the next time we do it, he'll remember that. We're stacking experiences. So that experience one day, and the next day do it again. One of these days he's going to come out and there's not going to be any issue, and he's going to say, oh, that's the easiest way to get through this part of the day. So just go in, okay? And then what happens is these conflicts become less and less and less with you and your dog because it's generalized that you just have a position in the pack where you're going to be telling him when, where, and how you're going to be leading. And now he's not going to make a fuss about every little thing, okay? But right now he's making a fuss about every little thing. And you can imagine why. He's very cute. He gets picked up all the time whenever, if something's going wrong, I'm sure he just gets scooped up. So that elevates him. Think about that. You just put him on a pedestal. Probably when he's misbehaving. Bark, 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 pick him up. So reward is barking. Whine, 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 pick him up, reward whining. Rewarding those states where naturally it would actually be correct.
Yeah.
Total opposite.
If he was with his pack, yeah.
Watch his decision. He's coming, okay, slow, but
He said, what are my options? Okay, maybe I should listen. I'll come this far, but I don't want to commit all the way. I know what you're asking, but I don't really want to go in there.
I'm correcting for the between the legs.
Recall again. Okay, corrections are going to go up the further he gets away. And then as he comes back, they'll go down. This is all testing of boundaries of what can I do other than listen?
Come. Hey, good boy.
Oh!
Place. You got it.
He knows the way in.
Good
boy!
Got a little bit of a roundabout there. But, that's
Good boy.
Brownie points. Good boy. Very nice. Look at that.
Let's try it. Maybe third time's a charm and he'll go right in.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Look at that. I'm just giving him a second to stay in there, to feel the success. Because, me giving him another command right out of the gate is actually not going to reward him. So letting him sit there is going to be a reward right now. Because he doesn't want to work at this point. He only got here yesterday. He doesn't want to work once you realize it wasn't like a carnival game or something where you win big prizes and nothing's at stake. Once you realize, when they all realize real quick, they're just doing real life lessons. She's like, I'd rather just chill in the kennel. Cool. If you're listening, I'm teaching them. If you're listening, you don't have to worry about anything. But when you go into having the attitude, that's when we'll go down that road. So it's all based off of his attitude, really, and his behavior, his choices. All right, I'm gonna release him. Oh, break. Little leash guidance here.
Good.
Yeah.
Let me see if the third time's a charm.
Yeah. Now I didn't drag him out.
No, I saw him jump out. That was great.
I was suggesting, but I want him to do it, right? If pulling him out isn't gonna, it's doing nothing for the brain to choose to listen. Good boy, good boy. You see that brain is entering that state where he's even putting his head low, he's trying to avoid conflict. So I get this rare opportunity to teach him and to describe to him, oh, you can avoid that by following my leadership.
Absolutely.
So if I say to do that and you just listen to what I say, that's the answer every time. So it's not complicated, it's just if you listen to me, everything's gonna be okay, and I'm gonna take care of the world around you so you won't have anything to worry about. Okay, but if you start to just say, I'm not listening and I'm gonna, fight your authority, then that's when there is conflict. I need you to do this and you're saying no. I need you to stop doing this and you're saying no. Of course there's conflict, all right? But you're creating the conflict so you can stop. So now this is an over exaggerated way. He's just saying
low and slow,
right?
submissive
Which
and
is
calm.
completely opposite of yesterday. So if he was with his other dogs, they'd correct him, right? If they corrected him, they would receive the same type of demeanor immediately afterwards or like the next few days.
Yeah.
And it's a sign of respect when you're just saying, you're going out of your way to say, I don't want trouble, and then that other dog appreciates that and everything moves forward. Alright? Avoiding those conversations is how you get a dog who doesn't listen, who is a danger to itself, and also it's very stressful.
Yeah.
Okay?
Here's rep 3.
Alright. Come.
Bam.
That's what we're talking
Bam.
about. Good boys.
Sparkle.
Good boys.